Suggy. Ooh, Suggy. And I am here with more Final Fantasy XIV. Let me hop into always with you. Hello, hello, Miss Q. Whoa. So the first thing we actually have to do before we do any plot is we need to go do our 78 role quests. We must. Thou mustest. So, goodbye. Mine's at the bar. I don't know where your dude is. Is he also at the bar? So I did some of the tank quests, and he's currently in like Kalusia somewhere. And I was like, I hope I remember that. You have a grumpy man. Predictably, Gyot is drinking. Gulp. There you are. I need lish mead. Yeah, you heard me, lish. But more ale. Much more. Wait, you ain't the waitress. Oh, I know you want to say something, but you won't. You think that'll just encourage me. Well, maybe that's what I want you to think. Or maybe, you know, that's what I want you to think. All this time, I thought I was annoying you, but actually, nah, can't be. All this rubbish about lost civilizations must be getting to me. I've read a dozen histories, and I still don't know nothing about that magic of laments. What I find, though, is where she would have gone if she wanted to see her sister, and it's in Tomra. So what do you say? Come and visit my home. I'll be waiting for you when you get there. Oh, is he in right? You've lost the man. I think he's in Kalusia somewhere. I may have forgotten to tell Akali how to get here. That's unfortunate. Come to think of it, I ain't sure she can get here. The tunnel's only for dwarves and... Akali, where'd you come from? So, it was you folks that got the ladder moving. Huh! I can't believe you managed that and didn't even tell me. Just when you think you know a person. Yes, that's a joke. Anyhow, the place I want to show you is just over there. Follow me. Our new rumor has the dwarves of Comra in a right tizzy. You heard the latest rumor of Coma? The strangest find in recent memory. No actual details as to what was said is finally... Oh my god. The strangest find in recent memory. Though actual details as to what said find actually is have yet to emerge. If you do happen to come into any juicy tidbits, I'd be keen to hear them. The suspense is killing me here. Oh shit. I went and talked to the wrong door. And I don't know how I went and did that. Where did my dwarf go? Over there. I just went up and talked to a dwarf thinking they were all the same. I know! It was super bad. They're all in the same fucking outfit. Oh, I see. I understand. I've been goofing it. Nothing to worry about. This monstrosity came flying at my face, rudely I might add, when I unsealed the old tunnels, but everything's under control. As you can see, I gave it an old-fashioned dwarven decking. a dwarven decking. Sorry, I ain't at liberty to explain further. It's forbidden to reveal the secrets of the dwarven decking to outsiders. And anyway, I brought you here for something more important than that. Let me explain. We don't use it no more, but before the flood, dwarves lived in this place. Only the sick ones, mind. In those days, there was an illness called stone blight. Turned your skin to stone, bit by bit. It was just a matter of time, a few months or a few years, until you were petrified completely. No one knew where it came from, but they did know it was contagious, so they locked them all up in here. Here in the Blight warrens. They needed to keep it from spreading, because there was no cure. Not back then. Limit, was it not enough to leave without permission, or to return unbidden, bringing these strangers into our home? You knew full well that entering the Blight Wardens is forbidden. How many of our traditions must you trample before you are satisfied? If you so refuse to respect your heritage, you have no place here. As head of the council, I hereby banish you. You are no longer a dwarf. Be gone and never return. Be gone! Have you lost your wits? Lament just cured your people, her sister, and all the others. She left your village to find a way to save them, and she did. She did what no one else would. Your words have no weight here, outsider. This is a dwarven matter. Silence. Silence. I will not be silent. You have no idea what Lament has been through. That's enough, Ardbert. Whatever my reasons, I did break our laws, and I did so knowing that this would be the result. I will accept my punishment. I will leave my dwarven pride behind today. Lament. If Lament is leaving, so am I. Probably didn't think much of us after you shoved us in there to die, but it was awfully hard to breathe. We all took our helms off. If Lament is going to be banished for breaking our traditions, then I should be too. As the young lady says, none of us is perfect. It ain't right that Lament should be the only one punished for it, especially seeing as she was saving us. Come on, exiles. We keep our faces plain for all to see, and our heads held high. Oh, everyone. Are you sure you're alright with this? We could go back. We could... What? Pummel the elders with your axe? I know you're not the fledgling adventurer who got knocked flat by Hobbs anymore. You could probably defeat even our strongest warriors, but forget it. We have more important things to worry about. We still haven't found what caused the illness in the first place. If it really is the Shadowkeeper again, well, you know what we have to do. If this is what it takes to save our world, I will give up my home and more, Ardbert. And anyway, it's not all bad. I don't think I really understood before how beautiful it is out here. How nice the wind feels. It is nice, isn't it? And for what it's worth, I'm glad you're here, helmet or no. Alright, Bert. Thank you. Hey, Hobdaughter, ugly. Look, I'm running out of insults here, and I'm starting to feel bad. Just wake up already. Finally. Well, that was harrowing. About as soon as you started doing your thing, that Sin Eater decided to rise from the dead. Though I suppose that's mostly my own fault for not dealing in an extra blow or two, just in case. Anyhow, what did you see? I knew it. I knew that Lamette was the one who cured Stone Blight. It had to have been. She saved all of them, and they exiled her for it. And the head of the Council of Elders. Oh, sorry, I suppose I wandered off. Got caught up in my own thoughts. Actually, can you give me a moment? Or maybe a while? I'm not sure what to think is all. I don't want to keep you from your other work, so see you later. Are you level 80 by chance? No. Okay, so we'll wait for the 81. Damn, we balanced your XP real well. I hit 80 a little early, but that's okay. Oops. Oh, did you find your guy? You still didn't find him? Okay, hold on, let me help you. Well, you should have said something. Tank roll quest. It's 78. You want to speak to Sol Ul, who is in the Ilmeg. Okay, so you're on the right track then. Okay, well, I'm gonna talk to the other guys then. I think I can talk to everybody but the... I think I'm only 68, which unfortunately... Not that one. Lurek thinks you just might be the answer to his prayers. Wait, you wouldn't happen to be... Yes, of course you are. 'Tis plain from the way you carry yourself. You're just the sort of woman I've been looking for. You're perfect. My name is Lurik, and I am a bounty hunter, but not just any bounty hunter, I will have you know. Nay, I am not wont to settle for run-of-the-mill prey. I hunt sin eaters. Not only that, I have recently set my sights on a particularly notable fiend, one of the four cardinal virtues, those infamous instigators of the flood itself. Naturally, it will take considerable strength and skill to defeat such a formidable eater, and I am not afraid to admit I cannot do it alone. However, with the aid of equally formidable allies, I am confident it can be done. And you, my friend, are exactly the sort of ally I have in mind to recruit. Wait, I have money! Lots and lots of money. You will be well rewarded for your service, on my honor. However, as much as I am certain you are the right woman for the job, 'tis only meet that I put your skills to the proof. A simple test should suffice. Pray do not be offended, but you would be shocked at how many people present themselves falsely in order to enrich themselves or to impress others. I just don't trust, babyface cat boys. Oops. Why am I still so slow out here? When do we go faster? I might be a touch undergeared for this whole ordeal. But we'll see. Oh boy. I'd have been better off on dancing. Here we are, our proving grounds. You need only slay a beast of suitable ferocity before my very eyes to demonstrate your own. Naturally, you require a bait to lure one out of hiding. Oi, my lord. Got your package here. Oh, well done, my good man. And here is your payment. Oh, the bait in question. Easier to have it delivered than to take a detour and pick it up myself. Rather more efficient as well. Time is money. Now then, you need only place it in the open and slay whatever comes to claim it. I cannot imagine it will take long for something to come hither. mistake. I knew I was not wrong about you. Come, let us return to the Crystarium at once. Actually, Cabinet of Curiosity is the faster way to go. That is incorrect. What is that one then? It must be the pendant store then. Oop, okay. Congratulations on a kill well made, my good woman. I dare say this is the beginning of a beautiful partnership. Let us commemorate the occasion with a feast. Eat, drink, and be merry. Wonderful stuff, isn't it? My compliments to the chef. Another helping? No? Are you sure? It really is no bother. Oh, very well. I should like to return to our earlier discussion, that the virtue I have engaged you to hunt with me. Andrea is her name, and she roams Norvrent in the guise of Renda Ray, fallen warrior of light and renowned hunter of Eld. She is the most elusive eater who has been sighted in every corner of the realm. Though her movements are unpredictable, she has often been witnessed pursuing and slaying extraordinarily dangerous beasts. I can well imagine the question forming in your head. Why not leave her be? If anything, is she not aiding local communities after a fashion? Alas, no, for the beasts she slays rise anew as eaters, which pose even greater threats to the small folk. So you see, this one wretched sin-eater is in truth sowing untold chaos by carrying on as she does, unleashing more of her kind on unsuspecting towns and villages all across Norvrent. Only you and I can stop her. So she was a warrior of light. What an odd thing to ask, but never mind all that. Whether or not they were heroes or villains or whatever 100 years ago doesn't matter to me. The simple truth is Renda Ray was the greatest hunter who ever lived, and beating her at her own game would be an amazing feat, don't you think? And regardless of what the warriors of light were before they became sin-eaters, that's what they are now, so we'd be doing folks a favor by killing one. Well, what do you say, friend? Will you hunt Andrea with me? With pleasure. So begins our formal partnership. I can see it now. You and me in the heat of battle, fighting side by side, the picture of courage and camaraderie. It's going to be grand. Naturally, it will take us time to study and understand our prey. Eaters can behave in strange and inexplicable ways, particularly powerful ones like Andrea. I've been doing my best to get inside her head, to think like a hunter, but it is easier said than done. Anyway, as soon as I have determined where we ought to begin our search, I will inform you at once. Oh, is the reward lacking? My apologies. Next time, I will see that you receive a more substantial compensation. I shouldn't be allowed to take this. What? It's because my dancer can take it. How are you doing, Miss Q? Are you still doing the thing? Okay. Lyric seems rather surprised to see you standing before him. Wait, it's you? It's really you. You actually came. I mean, never mind. You're here to hunt Andrea with me, yes? Of course you are. Why else would you be here? And wouldn't you know it, one of my hirelings should be returning with new information any moment Greetings, my lord. I am pleased to report that Andrea was recently sighted in Amarang, in the vicinity of Samuel's backbone, it would seem. Apparently, there was a right vicious spider that was giving folks trouble, and now it's apparently been turned. It's about a dozen times worse. They'd be grateful for any assistance. I see. Well done, my friend. Your payment as promised. Why bother going out and about pestering the small folk for news when you can employ others to do it for you? The better devote our precious time to rather more important matters, I say. And owing to my winning strategy, you may now depart for Amarang, and the delightfully named Samuel's backbone, where in pursuing the spider, we may yet find its maker. That person I flew over had the Weaver relic, which is very impressive, because those suck to make. I needed to finish the thought. They're very pretty, very obnoxious to put together. This is certainly the place. I gather those bones once belonged to dear Samuel, but I see no troublesome arcanine. And it being a rather large desert, I had considered hiring a few trackers to hasten our search, but I have yet to spy a place where such individuals might congregate. Pity. Bah, nothing for it but to roll up our proverbial sleeves to do the dirty work ourselves. We shall split up and search the sands for the sin-eater spider. Whoever finds it first may have the honor of slaying it themselves. And should we not find it, well, after we have both searched a suitable length of time, I say we meet back here. Let the hunt begin. You survey the surrounding sands, but find no trace of the spider you seek. Definitely a scorpion. Close enough, I guess. of the Gothic bard. There she is, the Scourge of Norvrond, the Devourer of Souls, Balam Quiz. We bring this mark down, well, they'll be singing ballads about us till the end of time. Never mind the king's bounty. Hells, we could buy ourselves a couple of castles apiece. Flanking maneuver as discussed. Wait for my signal, then we'll strike as one. Damn it, she's on to us. Don't panic. We planned for this. We'll act as decoys while Runda Ray brings her down. Go, go. Wait, not yet. There's no need to rush this. Sod it. Always so headstrong. Bugger me in my head. I can't... No, no, come back here. Finish it, you bloody bastard. Finish me. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I'll not let it end like this. I promise. I'll kill that goddamn beast if it's the last thing I do. Hey, what was that just now? I've had headaches before, but the way you were thrashing about wasn't like anything I've ever felt. My the gods, and I thought we were lucky to just catch a glimpse of Andrea, but you're also telling me you were granted a vision of her past with this power of yours? Though, 2 warriors killed while hunting a great horned beast, a beast their surviving companion vows to slay in revenge. I have heard this tale before, I know it. It's a common enough sort of tale, I suppose, and regardless, she is gone. Come, let us return to the Crystarium and celebrate your accomplishment. The table is set, and so I bid you raise a glass with me, that together we might toast to your spectacular accomplishment. There's really nothing quite like a hearty meal after a job well done. Drink up, friend, drink up! Oh, I accidentally skipped his dialogue. It occurs to me, my good woman, that I have yet to ask you your own name. So quickly did we forge our friendship that I hardly noticed until now. Akali Yana. Rek and Akali. Yes, I rather like the sound of that. Rek and Akali, the daring duo, the brave bounty hunters, the scourge of sin-eaters. Once we have slain Andrea, not a soul in Norvrond will not know our names. They shall ring out across the realm. But I should dwell overmuch on the victory before the struggle. A wise hunter is prepared and patient. 'Twould be prudent to send double, nay, triple the agents afield to seek out promising new leads. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're a gillionaire. Worried about the budget for our brave endeavor? Well, don't be. I am prepared to fund our activities as needed. No expense shall be spared. None whatsoever. Alright, how are you, Miss Q? Still talking? No worries. I will wait for you at the mean. Over here. I knew you were behind. Well, where I want to stop. Alright, yeah, that works out. We do need to move this along. You make sure to get all that done. Catless looks at you with a concerned eye. Akali, are you alright? I think a return to your sickbed might be in order. Or you might consider resting while atop the watchtower next to the rookery? The damnable sky doesn't make the most smoothing scenery, but the Exarch often like to stand there and feel the wind upon his face. I just jumped out. I thought you were behind when I was trying to, like, see what you knew from your tank quest, and you were just like, nope, didn't do any of that, and it just didn't make any sense to me. But you assured me. I shame you.
The people of this city have spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight. I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky. Knowing what it means to everyone. And that you're responsible.
It's all such a mess.
Aye. An all too familiar one. Here you stand alone, expecting no one else to bear the burden for you. You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out. But that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet. I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives. One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest. There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen. That we'd made one last mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had. Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it? So we never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burned so bright. That they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive. Well, come on then. As I thought, what happened between us was no coincidence. My story may be finished. The fates have gifted me a minor role in yours. I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse. But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish. For what it's worth, I cast my lot with yours. If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you. If you lose control, I'll do my best to stop you. So, let us be about it, hero.
You were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and wallowing in your woes. But look at you, grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie. Look at what you've done to your ether. It's a mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours. My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you? Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it, cut ties with the mortal world, hide away in the castle.
I want that bad end.
It won't fix the problem, but would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Meg will rise up in your defense. My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them.
What? Don't give me that look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never ever heed such a wicked suggestion.
And besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower? Oh, my dear beloved sapling, you are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits. Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment, at this time, in this place. Our cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow. See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue. You stand in his garden, dear sapling. Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer. But what will you do with it, I wonder? I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
Frog. Where'd you get that frog? I do have a frog. It must have been from main story quest. Where's your gobby? Oh yeah, I do remember seeing it here. I can't believe you've dismissed your gobby right at the end. It's been on the whole adventure with you. Oh, I did not expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely you have not come in search of an Amora. What do I know of the Crystal Exarch? I'm happy to share, but I fear there will be no surprising revelations. As any in this city could tell you, he is a man of wisdom and compassion, and many untold secrets. But none can doubt the generosity when the Crystarium was being constructed. He even allowed folk to plunder the tower for resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us but one. No one except the Exarch is permitted to dwell within the spire. Many seasons passed. A comrade of mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. The Exarch merely smiled and said, because one day the crystal tower may vanish as suddenly as it arrived. I know. They were dressed very cool. Akali, it is good to see you awake and alert, my friend. What's this about? You're not writing the Exarch's memoirs, are you? I'm not sure how much I can tell you, considering we avoid asking too many questions. Unspoken rule, and all that. If anyone has any fresh insights to share, it'd be Captain Lena, I'd say. She lost her parents to an eater attack not long after she was born, and the Exarch saw to her upbringing. Outward appearances aside, those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. I imagine the news of his predicament hurt her doubly hard. Not that our proud captain would ever let it show. If you decide to talk to Lena, she'll be at her usual post at the Ancestor Gate. Yeah, I really winged this one. I realized I wasn't going to be able to jump down after the fact. Yeah. I thought we were going to go see Lana for... But there's one more dude to talk to. Oh, was something else you needed? If you've come for the results of my research into this persistent light, I'm afraid there's little to tell as of yet. Records pertaining to the Exarch? Well, I need no documentation to relay what little I know of his history, if that is what interests you. Less than a decade has passed since the coming of the Flood, when the Crystal Tower first flashed into existence. Its summoner, the Exarch himself, became known as to the refugees in Lakeland soon after. He welcomed all who sought out the spire, be they locals who had lost their homes or Vorberites fleeing their ruined kingdom, and together did they found the city which would become the Crystarium. Some thought to call him king, but he refused to share his name, but the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did the people consider him scintillating skin, so alike to the tower he had summoned, and bestowed upon him the title of Crystal Exarch. As for his true name, well, it would seem that that is a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Spit at me. Akali, I was not told you had awakened. A welcome surprise. Now, if only the Exarch was returned to us. He was taken by this rival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned they had an idea of where to find him, and so I bristled when they asked for patience. I did not understand their hesitation until I saw that you had fallen. Only then did I realize that I had no business rushing ahead. Even so, the delay has been no less agonizing. In the moments before he left to join you in Galuja, the Exarch entrusted me with a key. It opens a door in the ocular to a chamber known as the Umblicius. The room is the heart of the tower, into which only the Exarch himself is permitted to enter. He bid me allow none enter the tower once he had departed. Only in the event that an army of eaters descended upon the city was I to access the umbus and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me with such instructions, but the battle with Vothri loomed near, and in the time I accepted the key without much thought. Since then, however, that moment still occupies my mind. When I recall the look upon his face, he knew that some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me, Akali. I need to know what he feared, what battle you and your companions are truly fighting. Forgive me. I trust in the Exarch, and I should not be voicing these doubts for when he is not here to respond to them personally. But you have come to me with a question of your own, have you not? I see I am not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we do not face an invasion of eaters, I suspect the city will be in far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek. Lena urges you to follow her. Come, meet me in the ocular, and I will unlock the door within.
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee. Thy true name is Grahatia, then? By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star. Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity. Sid Garland being perhaps the greatest. In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope! We are finished! Mankind is finished!" Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass. The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Sid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me.
So Sid and Nero and Biggs and Wedge, once they decided to do this, it was 200 years later before they finally managed to get Grahatia out of the tower. They never got to see what they had been trying so hard to do.
By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th Umbral Calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Sid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century. But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only woman who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
An undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous. Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Sid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward. 'Tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was her. The Warrior of Light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, she would rise above. Where others would break and run, she would carry on. The Warrior of Light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were her deeds joyously retold. For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights. And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the Warrior of Light herself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. She was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to her. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live. I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood, and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me, but in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity, and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity, and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the Rift.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course. I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Careful now. If you lose control again, the Light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case. What do you mean to do?
I mean to have a few words with both Emmett and the Exarch.
We should be on our way. Diassian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere, hidden beneath the waves.
They technically should know each other. Because Grahatia is a student of Charlian, which is how he knows Kryle. And while Y'shtola and the twins and Urianger are also all students of Charlian, they were taken by Louis Soir. I'm trying to sort of like figure out why Urianger wouldn't know Grahatia, because I feel like it has been briefly mentioned that Moonbrita knew Kryle and Grahatia. They technically all should know each other, just by junction of Charlie and what have you. But it's very possible they never met while in Charlie. And Kryle and Graha do come from a sort of a different branch than what Urianger would have. So I suppose that makes sense. Anything else, Miss Q? Did you find the answers you sought? If there is nothing more you need, I will go and lock the door. I have questions about the Tempest. The Tempest? That is the name given to the seas by which Calusia is bound. If you make a request to the Tamers, they will provide you with an Amaro to fly you over the waters, but... Do you mean to leave right this moment, alone? I am not sure that... Nay, I will not stop you. Go with the blessings of the Shadow, and I will await your safe return. You acquire an Amaro. Just a moment and I shall saddle our swiftest beast to fly you to the island. The open water? To the depths of the Tempest? Our Amaro can swim, yes, but to reach the ocean floor...
Ah. We have found thee. Word reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste. Ah. By thy looks I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
I lied. A lot.
Urianger has shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I offer no excuses. When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare. Yet it is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
Do you forgive Urianger, Q? No more lies.
Pray believe me when I say that I took no pleasure in deceiving thee. Indeed, I curse the circumstances which compelled me to do so. But no further secrets lie between us, I swear it.
I will never lie to you again. He lied. Like a liar.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea.
I'm very proud of Reen for constantly being like, I think this is stupid, and speaking up a lot more.
Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Urianger. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again. Please, you must stay here, at least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
Alize, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Of course I know! I know only too well! But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple. We've all searched high and low for an answer, and every one of us came back empty-handed.
Alize.
I am not about to stand in her way now. Not after failing her in her hour of need. No. The least we can do is...
We will go with you as well. There is naught to be gained by standing still.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue. Lead, and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Are we all in agreement then?
Is there aught we can do to help?
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
You told them!
No! Well, not in so many words.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive, and I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went out to meet you, it was clear it was no ordinary visitor. That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
Me too! That's right!
Here, here!
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless. So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would you have of us?
You might have invited them to join us, where they're not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O warrior of darkness?
Emitzel would be so pissed if we just brought all the Crystarium with us when he specifically told us to come alone. Defend the Crystarium until we return. There's nothing I can do to cleanse you of the light's corruption, but I'll do everything in my power to keep it in check. Oops. Sorry. If the Warden's Aether overwhelms you again, you will become a Sin Eater, so please, save your strength for when it really matters. The volunteers who journeyed to Kalusia have all been safely returned to their homes. They've also assured us that they will do their best to hold the Eaters at bay in our absence. Gods know you've spent enough time charging into danger on our behalf. It's only fair that we return the favor. I once said that I wanted to fight for Estinian, that I wanted to save him, not let him be sacrificed for our cause. And now I say the same to you. Just so you know, I will not look kindly on any further attempts to leave us behind. We do this together. Thou didst plan to commandeer an Amaro for thy journey to the open sea? I fear the following dive down unto Emitzel's underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. Thus, during thy convalescence, we considered the most efficacious method for traveling the depths of the Tempest, and I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet ere we discuss this step, I suggest thou dost conclude such pressing business as remains to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea clotheth above our heads, we are unlikely to surface again until our grand deed is done. You did it! We're not losing out on too many experience points. Urianger is patiently awaiting word that you are ready to depart. Thine affairs are in order, and I shall unfold to thee my proposal. Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our goal is not simply to arrive there. Nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fight freely. Thus would I petition the aid of one of the Fae, a being with whom I have yet to meet face to face. Rather than waste words on explanation, I bid thee follow me unto the hamlet of Sullen, where lieth to the south and west. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee. By chance, can you fly? They all learned that. I don't know. Can you fly in Lakeland? Alright. Let's do our best. I think the Ostel is the faster way. You should be able to get there by foot. It would be crazy if you could. Oh, they want us to go there first. That makes sense. We got a bit of a walk, but that's okay. No, we're gonna hoof it. You should be able to get there by walking. I just simply can't remember. Switch to warrior so that when you see new areas, you'll get the experience on the warrior. Oh yeah, you can... We can walk now. Okay. I figured you had to. I see the path. I got too deep in the water. Yeah, I got the... So there's mining under the water. God, I went right through the world. There's mining in the water down here, and I always go to Fort Job. Because it's the fastest way to get the timed node. Or not Fort Job, but it was faster to go the other way. I just didn't know if we were going straight to the island. And we're not. Oshimendrigir. There to the west, canst thou discern the hump of an isle rising above the water? That foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Swim close, and plunge thee beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason for mine insistence. Though it be, much to my shame, I can but flail and flounder where thou mayest glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island, and spare one and all my spectacle of mine inept strokes. Nope. You must swim, for you glide like a fish. Right? I can't believe Urianger is making us swim when any extra exertion will turn us into a swim eater. So you could swim under the water super early on, and the people I was questing with at the time, when we were exploring and unlocking the whole map, she was like, "There's secrets over here." She's like, "These are spoiler secrets." Two curved slabs of rock seem squeezed together here, giving the impression of some giant stone islands. Though it appears solid enough, the rock yields slightly under your touch. Was the surface gently shifting, or was it just your imagination? There you are. Once you've completed your underwater investigations, the path here leads to the top of the island. If you've solved Uriange's little mystery, then you can find him further up the slope. 'Twas all rather obvious to my eyes, though I concede I have an unfair advantage. I can be blind anytime I want. Even seeing up close, I'm not so sure what's so special about the island. The locals call this the Isle of Kenton, which I presume was referred to knowledge. Either that or someone was being awfully zealous about marking his territory. Where's Ellie say? You think, wait, what turtle? The lake is enormous. Assuming my geography is correct, this would be the Mirror of Silver Tear back in the source, although the size hardly compares. Well, what hast thou discerned? It reminds me of a certain primal. Most perceptive. According to the lore of the Pixies, we are, even now, perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. Its name is Bismarck. Aye, the self-same title by which we know the great feathered whale revered by the Vanu Vanu of the Source. I would enlist its aid to bear us unto the deep, and thence banish the water with an airy sphere, alike in form of the domes which do shelter the hamlets near the Ruby Sea. Within its compass we may move unencumbered, and defend ourselves, within the hour of battle cometh, as it most surely shall. Now, I must needs ask for silence, while I make my supplication.
Wir Sach, Bilan Bismail. Fallen si lor wislan, ada si alinal.
Van urs atslir, olfod thim, iri guath thi.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fey to know that didn't go well.
We need Fey Ul.
Oh, my snare yak! You've learned to call me at last! And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can. Gers Bismail win picked. Van dromi drom jakom. Van read rithje.
Ahai una, sahawin wilsk. Isne rim, sor lo.
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. He's only got manners.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight. May the blessings of the Fae keep you safe, Inba.
Lo fallo ruis. Van in narsitar. Dir sitagnai.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, but the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up. Gods. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
Sounds so sad.
What the? Do you see that?
What a monster! Where did it even come from?
Whoa there!
It's not stopping. Run! Run!
Valana alla. Tilden sidok. Iri halvsi. Funne. Aktva von jasni. Tagnai.
Wow.
The breath of Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves? The waters recede. The Tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being. You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
I was like, what the hell? But I am a level 73 dancer, so that wouldn't do it. I dare say Urianger endured much playful attention from the pixies to learn the lore of Bismarck. He is nothing if not a dedicated scholar. With all that water out of the way, we'll be able to venture quite some distance. Emmett Silk must be hiding around here somewhere. This is amazing. I can't even see the surface. Bismarck must be powerful indeed to create a dome of this size. I can only pray to whichever gods are listening that it continues to hold. I remember being impressed by the domes of the Ruby Sea, but this makes them look like bubbles in a stream. Full glad am I that Bismarck was true to his word. We are arrived in the Tempest, safe and dry. 'Tis here that we shall find the lair of Emmett Silk, and, I believe, the imprisoned Exarch as well. For an Ascian alone, it is of course a trifling matter to flee unto the rifts. Yet I suspect such travel is nigh impossible with a mortal in one's custody. Nay, he would not soon risk his prize, when the Exarch's very body serveth as the key to the Crystal Tower and its powers of temporal transportation. Thus am I all but certain that this underwater realm harboureth our friend and enemy both. We have but to find them. In the event that you leave the area, speak with Inwal at Vermont's Yards in Kalusia to return to the Tempest. Ah, this music makes my heart hurt. Vanguard casts his gaze across the waterless expanse before you. Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt Emmett Silk will be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then, but watch your footing. The ground is still wet and like to be slippery. So welcome to the last zone of Shadowbringers. Forever chasing the high of Shadowbringers, it's true. I definitely play it a lot. It's definitely on my iPod, and you've definitely probably heard it on like a drive or something. Or do you mean like you feel like you've... It's not Master Matoya's, but it has the same like little xylophone beats. But no, this is a completely original. He's scared. He's scared. He's scared. Goodbye. No, the ticking clock is somewhere else. Look how pretty that rock is. The Flynn! nameless ones. They followed me. Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water? Ah, so this is where the Ondo make their home. I had wondered. Pray forgive us of any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware that your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct a most urgent search, and thus beg you for your understanding. Chieftain, what are we to do? Are you emissaries of the Ancient Ones? The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave. I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? This means we are not, and that we should leave. It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment. So, what's the plan? Given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. That said, our presently meandering search would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon the Ondo's local knowledge. Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be the Emetzel's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return? We can't dismiss the possibility, but if these Ondo refuse to speak with us... Akali, do you remember my first scheme for entering Yulmore? How I had planned to integrate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ondo? The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with that right approach, we can build similar relationship here. What kind of approach did you have in mind? The chieftain fellow didn't leave us many options. If we are to tread with the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. 'Tis plain, our all too dramatic arrival hath thrown this settlement into confusion. Were we to solve such problems we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them, they may prove amenable to reason. I smell chores, but very well if it can be done quickly. What do you think? I've nothing better to offer, but I do worry what will happen if the Ondo's tales end up leading us to a dead end. I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Ascians than first meets the eye. It warrants further investigation. Thus I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being. We will make allies of the Ondo. Then it is settled. Y'shtola, pray proceed with your investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. Akali, you won't believe who I've just bumped into. This is poor Shon, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Yulmore. I waited and you did not come. Then the Mies still came, but his visits did not continue. I am truly sorry, Poisson. Things did not go as planned. Is there aught I can do for you by way of an apology? Perhaps? Where the dry return, a cavern to the north, is home to giant crabs. We do not fear the crab, for we are the swifter swimmers. But now there is no water. We run and they scuttle close behind, snipping and snapping with their claws. There are too many of them. Too many. I can believe I can be assistance there. And what of you, Akali? If you've not found a task, you are more than welcome to join me. I should appreciate the company, where the dry return has a rather ominous ring to it. I hate this place. There we go. Maybe it's this. I give up. Shut up. It says there's a path right here. And that's what I was trying to use. I think it's below, which is the problem. Yes, absolutely. We actually don't seem to be getting experience here because this is like the 80 level. Yeah, I'm not getting... I wasn't getting any experience while I was dancing, so... Yeah, you'll get your ass kicked if you're a warrior. I didn't get any. Wearing them crabs. Oh, this was the path I was trying to get. Hello, Ishtar. As I suspected. You could crack their shells? You must be stronger than you look. I see you've reached your quota first again. I shall never be your equal in such tasks. Still, I would say we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number. My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward. Nay, Porshon, this was to be part of my apology to you, remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. Might I convince you to tell us something about your village instead? I would very much like to learn more of you and your people. Very well. Before the flood came, it is said that our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. They swarm, aimless and lost, until they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Strange buildings they were, and long had they stood under the water, yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter for my people, protection from the Tempest's turbulent waters and the predators which hunted them within. Their very existence seemed a miracle. The first settlers pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders had guided their course, and from this day did they discern the truth. That the ancients had chosen us to serve as caretakers of their eternal sanctuary until such time as they returned. Thus, if it is judged that your coming, and this great vanishing of water, was by the ancients' design, you will find warm welcome here. A truly astonishing history, yet I cannot help but wonder, how will the significance, or otherwise, of our arrival be decided? The ancients have blessed us with the protection and prosperity. If your presence serves to bring us the same, there will be no doubt in the matter. That would seem that our earlier decision was the correct one. We thank you for the lesson, Poishon, and will continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any further trouble, pray do not hesitate to ask. We should return to the task at hand. Only do try not to overexert yourself, my friend. The risk far outweighs the gain. Ishtal appears deep in thought. Akali, have you learned aught of note? Fascinating, and precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. Now, there are two tasks I would have you perform. The first requires you to inspect the buildings which surrounded the Ondo settlement and note their most distinctive characteristics. For the second, I wish you to use this knife to take scrapings from one of the remnant's walls. Pray be as thorough as you can. I shall be waiting here for the results of your investigations. Inspect the structures of the Undo cups for distinctive features. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out, target a building, and examine it. I found you. I found you. There is a shoe bill here, at the bottom of the ocean. For some reason. I will tell you my tin hat shoe bill theories when we have finished Shadowbringers. The tall, slender towers feature many elaborate windows, the likes of which you have seen nowhere else. When we are finished and we are all caught up with story, I will tell you all my insane theories. None of which will come true. But I want it real bad. Is he? Just a shoot-bill, she says. You set the point of the knife against the wall, but even after applying considerable pressure, you cannot remove so much as a flake of stone. The shoe-bill is under the sea. How did he get under the sea? Trees. And what and what have you discovered? Yes, I would agree that the windows are most distinctive. 'Twould seem the structures appear the same to both your sight and mine. And you say you could not so much as scratch the wall, even with all your might behind the blade. I'm only a white mage. Akali, everywhere I turn in this place, my gaze is drawn by peculiar materials for which I do not have a name. The buildings I had you investigate are the prime examples. They may appear to be constructed of ordinary stone, but I assure you it is nothing of the sort. If pressed, I would describe the substance as a composite of several mineral properties blended to create a material of unparalleled durability. Even the Ronkan Empire, once the greatest power in Norvern, produced nothing which compares to this level of perfection. But if not the Ronkans, then who? Who were these ancients the Ondos claim as the architects of their sanctuary? I suspect our answer lies with the reason Emmett Selk withdrew here to the Tempest. He may simply have wished to retreat somewhere mere mortals could struggle to reach, but there are many such remote locations. Why here, specifically? Emmett Selk is devoted to his role, and thus we must assume his choice of stronghold somehow serves the Ascian agenda. Or mayhap 'tis a place more dear to him than any other. Are you saying this place was built by ancient Ascians? That is my theory, that these structures are remnants of a time before history of a star that was yet whole and unbroken. Such traces in the source would have been obliterated by the succession of umbral calamities, but here in the first they may have remained untouched for millennia. A copy of the mural in the Katana Ravel. Elmet presented it to me during my visit to Fanrau after our victory in Kalusia. Here is the first scene. By Emmett Selk's own words, it depicts a city of eons past and the disaster which befell it. The design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between its towers and those you have just inspected? We are close to the truth, I feel. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove all doubt. From what I have seen, not more than sand and more sand lies to the east, and the south held no such structures. I suggest we try our luck further northwest. You may view the Katana Ravel mural at any time during this quest by using the item in the key items menu. The quest destination will not be displayed on the map. You must search for a structure which resembles the buildings in the mural, then inspect it from the survey point. The survey point will be found nearby in a location which allows a full view of the structure. Stola said northwest, right? I know this is the structure, so we just gotta find the survey plan. Oh, there it is. I will found the native one. This place was called the Walls of the Forgotten. Aye, this is the mural writ large. Though I cannot guess its purpose, it must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies hidden beneath the ground, I wonder? Centuries of our history have settled upon such ruins, countless layers of dust and sediment. An entire civilization, its existence forgotten by all except a handful of Asians. And yet it did exist. They lived here, in this city. But let us focus on what we've learned thus far. The Undo Chieftain spoke of mystery stirring, of a land illuminated. Judging by his words, he believes this phenomenon related to the Ancients' return. Thus can we surmise that the Undo saw shining in the abyss was, in all likelihood, yet another remnant of this age-old civilization. And who else would light the lanterns, as Reen put it, than Emet-Selch himself? 'Tis almost certain he is there. But if we are to find this stronghold in a timely manner, it seems gaining the Undo's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over. Ystrola seems eager to share your discoveries with the others. Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions and share what we have learned. Much as I would like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all reasonable haste. If you are not too weary, it may be useful to speak with Poshrion again and ask if there is aught else he is willing to divulge. I know, I would love to walk back, but time is ever of the essence. Ah, Elvino's friend! You and your companions have done much to repair the damage caused when the waters parted. Anything else you can do? Have you been to the Walls of the Forgotten? I think I have just come from them. The remnants to the northwest? Yes. You visited them unbidden? Whoosh. Could it be that your very footsteps were guided by the Ancients? I believe it may be so. Listen then, and I will tell you of our plans to bring light to the walls, that we might answer the shining call of the illuminated land. We have requested a finless craftsman to shape for us a sacred lamp. He is odd for a land dweller, choosing as he does to live in the ocean, but his skill is beyond question. It is concerning, however, that we have heard nothing of his progress. If you were to visit this artisan and return with our long-awaited light, then any doubt as to your purpose would be laid to rest. His name is Grendold. You will find his workshop in a metal structure to the south. That's just great, that is. Mine's playing tricks on me now. Look, Riddle, someone's come to visit ye at the bottom of the bleeding ocean. Or might be as you're a ghost, eh? Go on, false shade. Feast yourself on my rotten soul. I've got no use for it. A craftsman what can't craft is more pointless than a sea slug with a dome and hammer. And that's an insult to bloody sea slugs. Grundle appears to be suffering from a crushing bout of self-doubt. Maybe you can help psych him up. Eh? You wouldn't be trying to raise me spirits now, would ye? Spirit? Not what you'd expect from a servant of the netherworld. Has it really come to this? What's that supposed to mean? Not impressed with what you see, lass? Aye, well, I may have let myself go a bit. This was meant to be me underwater sanctuary, a place where I could concentrate on my work, far from the distractions of the outside world. And yet here you stand. Now what's so damned important that you drive all the way to the bottom of the bleeding Tempest to bother me? Ah, the Ondo's lamp. God's curse me, empty head! I've not so much as made a start. I'm worth less than a sea slug. Nay, the slime left by a sea slug. Me delivery date's long past, me workbench is untouched, and I call myself a bleeding artisan. Ye heard their beliefs, have ye? Bringing the light to them ruins will be an act of deep religious and cultural significance, and it was my privilege as a craftsman to be tasked with providing a ritual instrument worthy of the occasion, but I can't, just bloody well. My mind's a bleeding blank, and it's like I've pissed away every last drop of me inspiration. Tell me you got something to show me, something as'll give me muse a right good kick up the arse. The Ondo want to honor the coming of the ancients, so their answering light's got to blaze with the right kind of brightness, like the spark of life caught in a crystal. But just being sparkly's not enough. It's got to dance with the joy and sorrow as a sense of hardship endured. You know what I mean? Gerandalt seeks a particular kind of inspiration, the kind that crystallizes only at the culmination of a long and tragic tale. Complete any of the role quest lines available at the Wandering Stairs in the Crystarium and return to Gerandalt once more. So this is where we need to complete our level 80 quest. And then we will come back. So I want to complete the 80 quest, I am going to come back, and then that is where we will call it. So do not feel too pressed, because I know you are a quest behind. Yeah, this is where I wanted to end. I wanted to do the quest and be... You got the Ondo cups, yeah, I teleported there, so... Make sure you've touched the rock in the Ondo cups, and then finish your class quest. I hear someone chomping. Okay. Oh shit. They're not in the tent. They're not at the bar yet. They're in I forgot. There you are. Guillaume isn't drinking. Oh, hello there, Akali. Lolly ho. Well, I mean, lolly ho. And a lolly ho to you. I'm impressed. You knowing to give me a lolly ho just shows that you really picked up on the finer points of Dwarven culture. That really helped. Thanks. I was so busy dwelling on the business with Lamette that I almost forgot the news I had for you about Sofrazine. You remember that Sin Eater I killed in the Blight Warrens? Well, while you were gone, Sofrazine showed up to revive it. Seeing that convinced me. I mean, you remember how I was wondering why Sofrazine don't revive every Sin Eater we take down, right? Well, we learned from your vision that the dwarves that Lament cured of Stoneblight went to exile of their own volition. As you can see, the village was spared the worst of the flood, but the folks that left, well, probably weren't, which means they became Sin Eaters. Right, it's the only thing that makes sense. The poor souls couldn't go back to the village, so they got caught in the flood. They became Sin Eaters, and Sofrazine is still saving them, even now! And that gave me an idea. As we figured before, Sofrazine ain't alive, but Lament wanted so badly to heal those dwarves that it's still following suit, like a reflex its body can't forget. The last time Lament saw the folks she healed, they were homeless, leaving their homes for the last time. She probably never forgot the sight of them, and so Sofrazine goes around healing homeless dwarves to this day. You see the solution, right? Helms. So simple. It's brilliant. Isn't it just? Not as brilliant as my beard, maybe, but few things are. Now, whether clapping a helm onto Sofrazine will keep it from healing itself, I can't say. It'll depend on whether the thing sees itself as just another helmless dwarf. It don't seem to have much in the way of self-awareness, so I think it's worth a shot. Fortunately, we won't need to wait to find out. It came around not too long before you did, so if we kill the right sort of Sin Eaters, it should still be close enough to notice. Let's get to it. Oh, A-rank. Oh good, yeah. And Q left the party. Right, so we've got our eaters, we've got our helms, and now we wait. Once Sofrazine shows up, we'll test out a helm on the bait first. That'll also save us from having to kill it over and over. This feels familiar. Aha! At last! A bit less toppling over on your part this time, if you please. Wait for it to be distracted while healing the other one. Then we strike. Now charge! As I said, we'll try this on the lesser eater first. I'll give it a bit of a pummeling. And you put it to sleep with repose. That'll give me a chance to slip the helm on. I doubt it will take napping in the middle of battle unless it's nearly ready to drop. Just wait for my signal, you hear? That was my bad. I just took forever to wake up. Or to be able to be put to sleep. Perfect. Now, hold still. Oh. Oh, thanks. The helm got it even worse than I did just then, and it was our last one. I hate to say it, but this isn't going as well as I hoped. If we had even one more helm, I could try again, but... Wait, we do have one more helm. Just the one. Well, looks like it's time to take this eater down once and for all, together. Ha! Take that, you pasty bastard! This pasty master. What's that you got there, Collie? Some kind of crystal? Tradition wouldn't have saved her. That's why I left. I left and I traveled. I met Ardbert, found our companions, and together we searched. Are you her, Lynette? Listen, I called you a disgrace before, and my journey was not an easy one. To save my sister, to save them all, I faced 1,000 foes. I know, I understand now, and I'm so... But as I did, I learned how wide this world is, how beautiful, how cruel, and how much I wanted to protect it. Perhaps it should have been easy for me then, to give up my home forever for a greater cause. It wasn't. It hurt so much. But you bore it. You forgave them. You survived. Yes, it hurt, but I survived, because they were there, because he was there. Ardbert, you stubborn idiot, you sweet boy, you never did understand what you meant to me. Rest well, Lynette. You were the best of us. We did it! I can hardly believe it. This calls for a drink at the Crystarium, don't you think? If that silence is you wondering if I want to go home, well, I can't. I showed my face to you, didn't I? Broke our rules. So I'm thinking I'll give Lamette's way a try. Live proud as an exile, just like all the other folk that she saved. Ah, don't make that face. It's nothing that a little ale won't solve. There's something about her going in for the hug that's really sad. I actually don't have any sippies left, but I will take some, because we're almost done. I'll take some after. That's the stuff. Can I help you? You're staring. Really staring. Do you know you're doing that? I'm glad that you're here. Helm or no. Oh, are you sure? Because Oh, you're joking, aren't you? For a moment there I thought, never mind. Anyway, there's something I've been wanting to tell you. Firstly, well, you've been following along with my crazy plans this whole time, but I never really said how much I appreciate your help with Sofrazine and Lamette. Thank you. And I think you deserve to know something else, too. You know the elder who exiled Lamette? That was my great-grandfather. He's remembered as the greatest warrior of our kind. I always wanted to be like him, to be strong, honorable, protect our traditions. But Lamette, she saved so many from their suffering. Us dwarves might not have been there today if she hadn't cured Stone Blight. And he took her away from her home, forever. It's hard to see that as anything other than cruel. Tradition is important, but it's not the only important thing. Kindness, empathy, love, this world and the living, breathing people in it. They matter more. That's what I learned from all the folks I shared drinks with, from Lament, and from you. And I intend to keep learning, here in the city, with my face plain for all to see and my head held high. So you know where to find me next time you want to share a drink. I know our job is done, but you'll always have a place at my side. You hear? Am I getting off? I'm gonna get all my role quests done, my 5 points. I will try. I do not want to write this. I also do not want to write this, but it'll do. It just feels so slow. Battle music plays. It really is a bone. Hello, Stat. I'll let the Ondo down, but more than that, I've let myself down. Might as well go back to mending kettles. Show Granault a crystal that belonged to one of Ardbert's companions. What's that you got there? Such striking beauty. It shines with heartache and laughter and the transcendence of life, like the turmoil of history made manifest. I see the brilliance of the crystal's legacy. You'd never capture such a gleam, not if you labored 100 years. But bugger me if I don't mean to try. Where are me tools, gods damn me? I must set to work before the feeling fades. Granault is brimming with newfound inspiration. I can feel it, a vision forming in me mind. Step aside, lass, and let me itching hands get to work. But how are you, Stat? And done. I've taken the wonders of that crystal you showed me and channeled them into a new shape what befits the Ondo's spiritual character. Not a bad job if I do say so myself. And to think I was this close to hanging up me hammer after studying the craft of them ancients. I've been across the length of the breed in Norving, gobbled up every scrap of crafting wisdom that I could find, but no matter what technique I tried, my work just was no comparison. I couldn't figure out how they put them damn buildings together. A mystery for the ages. That's what drew me here in the first place. I built me workshop, got the forges burning, then lost me bleeding will to craft. Thank the gods of that crystal of yours, or I might have never gotten it back. I won't pry into your business, but I reckon your little miracle there has been through some kind of journey they sing songs about. The echoes of the memory it holds just speaks directly into your heart. I can still feel him coursing through me. The inspiration's not fading away. It's welling up stronger and stronger. Give me the chance, and I reckon I can weave your crystal saga into other things as well. But bugger me, I'd almost forgotten the Ondo's commission. If you could drag that lamp over to Thal's Ayath for me, I'll stay here and dream up new armaments for ye to try. You now have access to Grunwald's Forge. Equipment rewards will become available for collection based on the role quests you have completed. I don't think my stick is here. Oh boy. And look. The hood's gotta go. It was gonna go anyway, but it absolutely has to go. There we go. Oh my god, it's been so long, I didn't even remember the staff. Blood Lily. I completely forgot it looked like this. It's been a tree branch for so long. Alright, let me go turn in my tree. We will be done. What is it that you have there? A tree. The sacred lamp. Then the Finless One has kept his promise. My people tell me of the many deeds you have performed in the name of the aiding the cups, and now you come to me, bearing the light we had almost surrendered hope of ever seeing. We can doubt your purity no longer. Your arrival was the will of the ancients. Yes, the time for fear has passed. We shall take the lamp and unveil its austere illumination upon the walls of the Forgotten. Gather there with your companions, and we shall speak again once our prayers have been offered.
O stewards of the Ondo, we offer up our light in answer.
That crystal you showed the artisan. Did it belong to one of my friends?
Did you use it to make a lamp? I thought you were always watching.
I tried to give you a measure of privacy. No one wants a spirit looking over their shoulder every moment of the day. So tell me, if you would, how did you come across that crystal?
Internet.
It was Lamit's then. Strange that I should learn such things now, after they're long gone. They were fine friends. Every one of them. I didn't expect death to teach me so much. About them, about Seto, about you. About the hope that hides at the heart of this world. I've never been one for idle chit-chat, but if by some miracle I could see them all again, I doubt I would ever stop talking. I'm grateful I got to bend your ear at least. And just for that, I reckon I'll stick with you. To the very end.
Apologies, we were a little late to the gathering.
It seems we've succeeded in gaining their trust.
The delay wasn't exactly welcome, but at least our many hands made light work. And they seemed especially impressed with your contribution. Our hero indeed.
Y'shtola was telling us those structures may date back to the age of the Ascians.
An Ascian homeland. Despite his many protestations, I never quite believed Emmett Selk was telling the truth.
Nor I. But there is no denying the evidence before our eyes. Clearly this was once a great city. A home they would see restored, no matter how many tens of thousands of years it takes.
It's a hollow dream when you think about it. Even if they manage to rejoin all the worlds, they'll never bring back the ones who were lost. But would I have done any different?
Wouldn't you do the same?
How are you feeling?
Bad.
You have completed your devotions?
Yes. To the honored ancients have we offered up our prayers and our gratitude. You too have our thanks.
Might we trouble thee then to tell us more of the illuminated land of which thou didst lately speak?
To the west of here lies a great trench. Some days ago, a light appeared in that endless darkness. Curious, we ventured closer and discovered in the depths an entire city. The buildings we spied were akin to our own everlasting abodes. Impossibly so. We understood at once the ancients had risen. There could be no doubt. Taken with terror, we retreated to the cups, and I decreed that none should enter the trench until such time as we received a sign.
Might it still be possible to reach this city of the ancients?
With no water to drown you, a finless one could now travel there. Yes. I am convinced you are the sign for which we have been waiting. My people will show you the way.
Shall we?
Are you still, doing your role quests. Alright, then we will see the Illuminated City tomorrow. And this is where we will call it. This is where, about where I wanted to call it anyway. I just didn't know if you wanted to see it. But if you are still doing role quests, then it shall be for tomorrow, where we will finish up the main story of Shadowbringers. Thank you. Oh, I almost knocked a whole bunch of shit over. Thank you so much for being here. We will be back tomorrow with more Final Fantasy at 6 p.m. EST, and I will be on sooner than that with more Darkest Dungeon at 2 p.m. EST. So I hope to see you there. Yeah, so we are approaching the end. Hopefully we can cruise through the patches in good time with a little bit of extra to spare to do some other things, but we'll do what we can. I thank you for staying with me a little bit over. I am going to go and eat and take that sippy. So have a lovely, lovely night, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Goodbye.